Good evening, wrestling fans. Welcome back to another edition of Evolution of Pro Wrestling. Today, it's been a while since we've had certain guests on the show, but today we're actually going to bring back for another unprecedented interview the fearless leader and CEO of Atomic Revolutionary Wrestling, Mr. Alex Red. We're going to welcome him into the show momentarily. We're going to talk about his show coming up this Friday at 7 o'clock. It's called Epidemic, and the lineup in this card is just amazing. Like I get chills talking about it. You know, it's been such a long time since I've been in in a independent scene, so I'm definitely looking forward to it. We're just waiting for Alex Red to come on to the show. Soon it will get to that point. Until we wait for Alex Red fans, we're actually gonna have this Friday, as we mentioned last week on the show, Fantasy Warfare 2. It is, without a shadow of a doubt, going to be one of the best shows that we've had so far. Which Gonzalez, our commandant, will be a guest on the show. Okay, I think we're having some technical difficulties here with Alex Red. Let's see here. Let's see if we can add him on. All right. I think we might have made made some success. Let's see if Mr. Red is getting on. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Hopefully he'll get on there. You know, we're pretty anxious to see what Alex Red has to say. Excuse me, regarding his Epidemic show coming up this Friday, and about that lineup that he has that we're going to talk about. It's going to be amazing. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. Okay, we're having a little technical difficulty here. Oh, we might have him. Give me a minute here. I'm sorry. Oh, all right. Wait a minute. We got a request here. Okay. Sorry, there's something going on with Alex's camera. Let's see. Maybe I can add him now. Right. Let's see what we can do. Oh, and it looks like it's coming through. And yes, there he
What's
is.
up, man?
Long time no see, sir. How you been?
Celebrating a birthday and living in a crazy world of Corona and everything else going on.
Yep, yep.
How are you doing, man?
Happy belated birthday. And I'm good. I'm good, man.
Thank
Actually,
you.
I moved to a new house, new locations. So I'm good. I'm good.
Very
So
cool.
uh,
Congratulations, man. That's awesome.
thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. So let's get right to it. Epidemic, June 12th, 7 o'clock. This is the first event since the coronavirus happened. What are your thoughts,
Yeah.
and what were your thoughts preparing mentally for this social distancing and everything going into this event?
My thoughts were going to be, well, first off, I was hoping we'd even have a show, in the first place with, everything going on. And it's crazy because, we haven't had a show since February, and we were supposed to have a show in April. And then obviously, the quarantine and everything happened that just changed life as we know it. And we'll never have that sense of normalcy that we had before. And I was hoping we'd get to the point to where we could have a show again. And, especially wrestling for a while now has been like WWE, AEW, they've been doing TV with no audience, no fans. And I was hoping we would be able to do shows again because obviously we depend on ticket revenue to be able to pay for the shows because we're not, some big $1 million company or anything like that. So I was
Well,
hoping we'd get to this point, and I was afraid we wouldn't see that day, but here we are, literally just a few days away, and I got to tell you, I got butterflies. I have a lot of butterflies in my stomach, getting excited because it's been 4 months since I've been able to see the Atomic family, and we've had that energy, that connection. and it's going to be
Yeah.
nice to be able to escape all,
Excuse me.
all the corona stuff, all the, reality, and just have a good time, for a few hours, because that's, I feel like a lot of people need that. There's been a lot of people quarantined, a lot of stuff closed, a lot of people out of work. There's been a lot going on. So I think a lot of people really need this, and I've basically been preparing, trying to give the best possible show, and adjust accordingly to be able to have the show, but still make it fun for everyone, and still make it kind of feel normal.
No, no,
So
I
I'm
completely
excited.
understand. It's with everything going on, WWE doesn't have fans, neither does AEW. Now, they have, some sort of fans, but like you said,
Yeah,
it keeps the mind off of other stuff. Everybody's watching
right.
professional wrestling. I'm not sure if you noticed, and we have officially started a interactive discussion every Monday night with a watch party.
Yeah,
Get the fans into old school,
absolutely.
new school, and just do it. Um,
Yeah,
with this event, I see this card and it's like, wow, it's back. So I'm just gonna get right into it. And the best way to
let's do
start
it.
would be with Destiny, the bombshell champion, still against Gia Roman.
Still,
I'm going all the way with Destiny with this one.
yeah.
She still has that
The
title,
interesting
and
thing
it's kind of
here,
tough.
she does, and that's what I was about to point out, was that Destiny has held that Atomic Bombshells champion for well over a year. I don't know the actual number. I need to look at it. I think we're somewhere around the year and a half mark. We're nearing there. Um, but she's the longest reigning champion in Atomic history between
Mm,
any championship. So, Gia Roman, she's the newer, younger, up and coming, talent, who definitely, looking to make a name for herself. And could it be her destiny
excuse me.
to, take out Destiny and become the Atomic Bombshells champion and make a name for herself and finally establish herself as that new up and coming talent? Um, or is she just a stepping stone, for Destiny on this incredible championship reign she's had? Honestly, I don't. History says to bet on Destiny, um, but it's tough to say. I see the fire in Gia. I definitely see it. She last Atomic show back in February, she was in the Battle Royal, and there was men in the Battle Royal in there, and she was kicking the men's asses and throwing them over the top rope and stuff. So um, I don't know if I'd count Gia out. You never know.
No, no,
Anything can
I
happen.
definitely understand. No, absolutely. It's professional wrestling. Anything definitely can happen. So my money's with Destiny, but as you mentioned, you never
Can
know.
you hear
You
me?
never know what can happen. So yeah, I can hear you. So,
I think my audio is cutting out.
oop, I can hear you. Can you hear me? All right. So the next match, Gangrel, uh,
Never know.
WWE legend against Jason Dugan.
Anything can happen at any time, and that's professional wrestling right there. So you never know.
No, it's oh man. When you have Gangrel and Jason Dugan, hold on. Sorry, fans, we're having a little issue with the camera here. And let's try it again. Nope, no answer. All right. Let's see one more time. Nope, no answer. I'm sorry, fans. We're having a bit of technical difficulties here. Okay, let's see if we can get him on again. See if he can connect. Nope, I don't think so. All right, can we get him on there? Let's see. Sorry about this, fans. All right, let's see. Let's see. He's having a little audio issue going here. All right, let's see if we can get him on. There we are. Hi,
Hey,
we got we got it back. We got it back. There we are. All
back
right.
again.
So,
Gotta love
yep.
technical problems there. Gotta love them.
Yeah, I know. I know. So
Technology for you, sir.
nah, don't get me started on that, man. So I was announcing Gangrel, WWE
Yeah,
legend, against Jason Dugan for the Rapid Fire title. Um,
yeah.
Jason Dugan has, to me, since I've been watching Atomic Revolutionary Wrestling, transcended more in the business than what I've ever seen.
Hmm.
You know, he took on the
Yeah,
likes of Elijah Burke, the Pope, and the Pope is no easy
yeah,
picking. He took on Wes Briscoe in Wes Briscoe and Garrett Bischoff. So the man
yep,
can hold his own. He took on Raven and Just Incredible, two ECW legends. So
yeah,
it's kind of hard to call with this one. You know, Gangrel's another one. He's an excellent trainer, but I think I still got to give my money to Jason Dugan on this one.
yeah. Um, again, this is going to be, a history sort of thing where I've always said, you want to win big, you're going to have to place your bets on brothers in arms, always. Um, brothers in arms, it doesn't matter if it's Jason Dugan, if it's JD Amazing, if it's Rayzion, it doesn't matter. It seems like since the beginning of Atomic, ultimately all three of those men have dominated in one way or another, whether it be the tag team division, the rapid fire division, the hardcore division. JD, when he was a former Atomic heavyweight champion, um, Jason Dugan, though, here's the thing. He is a smaller guy, but he's faced the likes of Adam Rose. He's faced the likes of, a James Storm, um, Andrew Everett, Adam Rose. Adam Rose is a big dude, and Jason Dugan went toe to toe with him in the ring. So he's got to have to use what he's learned being in the ring with those guys to take on someone like Gangrel, who is a bigger guy and who has that veteran mentality, because Gangrel's been in the business for what, 20, 25 or 25 years plus. Um,
Yeah,
I This is a tough one to call. This is a very tough one to call. I think it's two very contrasting dynamics here, because you have the speed and agility of a Jason Dugan, whereas with Gangrel you have this kind of, he's just gonna knock you on your ass, and he's a vampire. He could easily bite Jason Dugan and cause blood. I don't know. Is Jason afraid of vampires? I don't know. He's been watching Vampire Diaries lately to prepare, from what he told me. So we'll see. But um, nonetheless, I think it's going to be a great match. I don't have a pick. It's tough because Gangrel's a legend, no doubt. He's a future Hall of Famer. But if I really had to pick one, I'm gonna go with Jason Dugan, because you always bet on brothers in arms. If I had to pick one,
yeah.
that's just where I go.
I've seen that time and time again. Each
Yep.
time they have a match, whether it's for tag team titles, rapid fire title, even a hardcore title when I first ever saw the event.
Yep.
So you're absolutely right. Now, this next match is it's a very interesting tag team match of good friend Paul and Leo Knox against CJ
Yep.
O'Doyle and M. Badu. Now, I've
Yep.
seen two of these men in the ring. Tell me about these other two men that's teaming up with good friend Paul and with CJ O'Doyle.
Yeah, it's a very interesting tag team. It is, because it's something refreshing. It's something different. Obviously, Atomic has had a lot of focus on the tag team division, and it was actually General Manager Jason Dugan who signed both these teams to kind of help ramp up the division, to help get more competition. Um, the only thing I really know about Mbadu is that he's a beast. He is a beast. I saw him work a show up in Jacksonville that the Pope Elijah Burke was involved in with his Love Alive charity that he had up there. And Badu was he was a beast. He dominated the entire match. That guy is a he's a guy that's going to come in there and just demolish. Um, so I'm a little intimidated to see, what happens. But, when it comes to good friend Paul and Leo Knox, they're a new tag team and they're going to be called Fugo Fury. And they've, already been training together and working together. They've been training 3 days a week together to prepare, to try to get their own, moves and skill set going. Obviously, we've seen good friend Paul be impressive, and he's been, just training nonstop and trying to become better. Leo Knox, we haven't really seen him in Atomic, but he has made a name for himself in Fort Myers down at Real Pro Wrestling, and he's been wanting to get an opportunity, get a shot for quite some time. And him and Paul kind of trained together down there, and they got this connection, this bond. Next thing you know, they're like the best of friends, and they know the way the other thinks. Um, so I don't know. I'm very curious to see this tag team mix, because I think CJ O'Doyle and Badu, you're going to have the powerhouse team, whereas Fugo Fury with good friend Paul and Knox, you're going to have that kind of quick agility lucha style wrestling. So it's going to be a very interesting match to see for sure. I'm very excited to see it, and I'm excited to see new tag teams in Atomic. And who knows, we could have future tag team champions uh, in either case. So I'm excited to see it play out.
Interesting, interesting. I'm glad you mentioned that. And the tag team division is an impressive division right now in Atomic. So I got to give you a heads up for that. Before we continue, fans, if you're watching this interview with Alex Red, he is promoting Epidemic June 12th. This upcoming Friday, open doors at 6:30. It starts at 7 p.m. Share to your live feed now. Have the fans listen on this live event.
Can I
So
add
next
something real
match.
quick?
Sure, sure,
Can I
absolutely.
say the show this Friday is 100% sold out. It's crazy. It's
Sold
crazy.
out 100%. That's amazing, man. So this match, I'm very interested in this one. I've seen both of them fight, both great athletes. La Brava against Red Velvet. I've seen
Yes.
them both fight. I've seen them both fight in person, and both have great skills in the ring. I'm not even gonna make a pick for this one because it's too tough to call.
Yeah, literally right what you just said. It is a tough one to call. We've seen Red Velvet in Atomic. She's faced Destiny. A little short and not Red Velvet. I've seen her work again with the Pope Elijah Burks stuff he does up in Jacksonville, and she's just tremendous in the ring. When we've had her in Atomic, she's been absolutely tremendous. Very much enjoyed having her. I think she's one of those hungry, young, talented competitors who is just looking for that right moment to strike and be able to shine. La Brava, I'm going to be honest. I've actually never had the opportunity to see her compete. This is going to be the first time I get to see her compete. Um, Jason Dugan again has our general manager. He's done so much when it comes to the tag team division, and now with this in the Bombshells division, he is the one who came up with the idea. Once, because originally this match was supposed to be Persia versus Red Velvet, but Persia injured her finger, her hand, and she's going to be out of action for up to 8 weeks, I believe it is. Um, and so we needed someone to step up. So we had a lot of submissions, a lot of people who wanted to step up, and honestly, La Brava, um, she wants a fight, and she put up the best reason. She wants an opportunity. She's been making a name for herself all over Florida, but she's never appeared in Atomic. So I'm really excited to see her, what she brings to the table, because like I said, I haven't seen her compete. Um, I just think at the end of the day, we're getting two young competitors who are hungry and looking to make a name for themselves. And I'm kind of excited to see, who's going to get that win and who's going to step up and potentially be a more permanent spot on Atomic in the Bombshells division. So I'm excited.
No, 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 absolutely. And I'm gonna tell you this. I have had the pleasure of watching LaBrava fight in a wrestling
Yeah,
match. And believe me when I tell you, she is very aggressive. Like she is
I
that
I can tell. I've
Latin
seen some of her
heel
promos.
that
I've seen
no,
some of
that
her
Latin
promos. It
heel
kind
that
of
she
scares me.
does. So she's very aggressive. Like it's tough to call. It's really tough to call with both of these two.
Yeah.
So I'm staying neutral on this one.
I've seen some of LaBrava's promos. She's really impressive. So I'm excited to see if she can bring that fire, from her promos into the ring at Atomic. So I'm excited.
Absolutely,
Absolutely.
absolutely. So the next thing, one time only, Headbanger Thrasher and Alex Red on the commentary team. How's that gonna work? Tell us about that, man.
Well, here's the deal. Here's how this one goes. And why this is happening one time only. I'm nervous. To say that I'm nervous is an understatement. I'm very very nervous to commentate with him. Not only because he's a legend and he's a future Hall of Famer, no doubt. Um, but I know his trash talk is spot on, and I'm kind of nervous to see what he says to me on commentary, what kind of trash talk he has for me, because I could throw some trash talk too, but I don't know. This guy, he's a legend in the trash talk. So here's the deal. Greg Allen is actually our new ring announcer, uh, and he's making his in-ring announcing debut. Uh, I've had Frank Saltarelli with me for a while. But Frank Saltarelli, he just had a kid, his child newborn, just a couple weeks ago. And congratulations, by the way, to Frank Saltarelli and his wife for an amazing, beautiful baby. Um, and because of that, he kind of wanted to take this show off and come back the next show. So I was left with the decision of, okay, well, I can sit there and call the whole show myself. It's a lot of work, but I could do it. Or I could try something different and unique and have a commentating partner. And I'm not going to lie, at first, I had another name in mind. I had the Pope Elijah Burke in mind. I did. I did definitely my commentary partner. But then I got a little bit of disagreements there from Jason Dugan due to their history. And, while I make the decisions at the same time, I was like, kind of like, okay, you know what? We'll leave the Pope Elijah Burke as an in-ring competitor. And I was like, what would be different and unique? Thrasher from the Headbanger. Um, he wears a kilt. So, I'm not excited to smell whatever's there, but nonetheless, I'm excited to have him as my commentary partner. Little nervous, little nervous.
Oh, we shall see. It's definitely going to be fun. It's a good way to return back to the
Oh,
commentary
he,
team.
he,
So,
hey, he thinks he's the king of trash talk. Well, I'm the fearless leader, so I don't know. There might be a little bit of a collision course right there in commentary. We'll see.
yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. So, the next match is going to be an interesting battle between these two. Rayzion
Yep.
going up against Rayzion, and I believe this is Ryzen's debut in Night Wrestling.
Yes.
I've seen
Yes.
Ryzen fight in numerous organizations. Um, it's just tough to call. Ray
Yep.
Zion is a bull, man. It's a beast. He's doesn't care, and Ryzen also is excellent superstar, former NXT superstar as well. So um,
Yeah.
this is going to be interesting to see. So I'm gonna stay neutral on this
Um, you
one.
have very much like you just said. You have two just interesting dynamics here because Ray Zion, he is a current Atomic Tag Team Champion and he's a former multi-time Hardcore Champion. He's been there, done that in the Hardcore division, and he knows what it takes um, to go toe to toe and get extreme in the ring when you need to. Um, so I always say don't bet against brothers in arms. It goes back to what I stated earlier. Um, this one's an interesting one though because He's never been in the ring with someone like Rayzion. Rayzion, obviously, he's been known because recently he was involved in the Free the Delete videos with Matt Hardy, and he actually defeated Matt Hardy in his own compound, in the Matt Hardy
Hmm.
compound. Um, and Rayzion, he's a star that's rising, absolutely. He's a very spiritual man in a very satanic type of way. Um, he's a bit intimidating. But is he going to intimidate Rayzion, who's been kind of there in the hardcore division and stuff? Tough to say. Honestly, I'm kind of right there with you. It's really tough to make a pick, but if I had to make a pick, don't bet against Brothers in Arms. I'm going to call Rayzion to win this, and Ryzen, I'm sure he'll make a strong debut, but I don't know. I don't think he can. I don't think he can overcome Rayzion. I don't think so.
It's going to be interesting to see. I know the fans are looking forward to it. Now, finally, the match that many people have been talking about that should have happened, the last event, due to a few mishaps.
The
Vertigo,
scrimmage, yeah.
former champion, former next level champion, going up against Chico Adams and the current next level champion, Shannon Moore, have held this title. All three superstars are hungry to win this title. But quite frankly, I would have to say, I know this is going to be surprising myself to say this, but I think I'm going to have to give this one to Chico Adams.
Oh wow.
I don't know.
Hey,
The things I've been seeing him do, appearing in AEW, appearing in WWE, working hard, training. I don't know. I think that this fire has got lit under him since the last event when he lost that title chance.
you know what? Spot on. You're 100% correct about that. And you're right. If you think about it, Chico Adams is the only man in professional wrestling to appear at Mania and on a week. That's crazy. That's a crazy for a guy who's not signed, to a major company. That's crazy. And it's to me, it's kind of crazy that he's not signed to one of those major companies yet. Um, Chico Adams, he's absolutely that guy who's put in the work. He's the guy that's, traveled the roads. He's, had so many amazing opportunities and he's made the most of them. Absolutely. Um, Chico Adams, he's definitely proven that he is the next level and he's ready for that next level. He has. Um, but like you said, all three of those men have held that championship. Vertigo is a former next level champion. And honestly, he lost the championship to Shannon Moore at the last show. Um, but it was a bit of a controversial finish. Thank you to the Drunken Sandman for that. Bit of a controversial
Mm.
finish, which kind of makes you question whether Vertigo should have even lost the championship in the first place. Um, it's tough to say because I'm kind of to the side that I don't think Vertigo should have lost the championship. I think the match should have continued, um, but it's done. It's over. That's history now. So we're moving forward. I think Vertigo's hungry. He has a reason. It's the championship he never really technically lost. Thank you, Sandman. And I think he's going to fight for it even more. Um, but Shannon Moore, obviously, he's a former Atomic Heavyweight Champion, and he's done proved he's the next level. The man has been in WCW, in TNA, in ECW, WWE, and of course, like I said, multi-time Atomic Heavyweight Champion. And Shannon Moore, it's a tough call. If I had to pick one though, I gotta give it to probably Vertigo to win back the championship he never lost, or Shannon to Rico. Gotta give it to one of those two though. I think it's gonna be Shannon Moore.
I,
One of
I, I
those.
completely under, I completely understand, man. Absolutely. It's gonna be an epic match. It's gonna be one for the record. But so I'm anxious to
It's gonna
see
be
it.
a great match, and like you said, it's the match that we should have had back in February. And I think that's what everyone feels like too, is it was the match that was supposed to happen, but then the Sandman ultimately ruined it with his drunken unprofessionalism. And the match cut way short. We backstage we gave that time the time for the match to go 15 minutes. We told him have 15 minutes, have a great match. And the match went about 3 minutes because the Sandman just it's up there on YouTube. Um, but and it sucks because he robbed these young, great, hungry competitors that just wanted a chance to compete for a championship, and it sucks because I don't know. But either way, we're going to get the match we should have got, and I think it's going to steal the show. I think it's going to be a tremendous triple threat, and I think we're looking at what could possibly be a match of the year contender once it's all said and done. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with that. Now, the main event, the rematch
Yes.
that was long overdue. Wes Briscoe, Atomic Heavyweight Champion, against Ax Clover in a lumberjack match.
Yeah.
Whew. How are you even going to contain the roof with this type of match?
Well, luckily we have some lumberjacks that's gonna take care of that job right there at ringside. Hopefully, hopefully. Um,
Hopefully,
yeah,
hopefully.
it's the rematch. It's absolutely the rematch that has been long overdue and has been waiting for. And this might irk some people, but I'm gonna go ahead and just give this an easy pick, and I'm gonna say that we crown a new champion in Axe Clover. And the reason I say that is because a lumberjack match, it's kind of Axe Clover's specialty. This favors him tremendously. I love Wes. Wes, he's the face of Atomic. He's our champion. He's a great guy. He's such a good guy. Just a really good dude. And but I don't know. At the same time, I think Axe Clover, he's hungry and he wants it. Um, let's talk about the history because the only lumberjack match in Atomic history was Axe Clover versus Jesse Neal
Jesse
for the
Neal and
Atomic
Ax
Heavyweight
Clover took it.
Championship,
Yep.
and Axe Clover took it. Absolutely, he did. That's when he became for the first time ever, a heavyweight champion. So he knows what it takes in a match of this type of caliber to become victorious. So I think you're going to very much see a repeat of history here, and I think Axe Clover is going to walk out the new Atomic Heavyweight Champion. I do. I think it, and then that's what I'm going with.
I respect that. I got to give it to Wes. Wes, ever since he's won that title, he's been very hungry um,
Yeah,
to try to keep that title. They fought in a last man standing match. It was another
yeah.
epic battle between those two. So I don't
Tore
even
the
want to
house
know
down.
what's going to happen.
Literally,
Yeah,
literally
exactly.
tore the house down.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and so I don't even want to imagine what they're going to do in a lumberjack match. So it's going to be interesting to see that match, and I know the
Well,
fans are dying to see that. So
it, it's going to be interesting to see because you also got to see how the lumberjacks are going to come into play. I mean, obviously the lumberjacks are there to do their job. Whenever someone gets out of the ring, they're going to make sure they get back in the ring. And sometimes some people take advantage of that if there's any sort of heat between them or anything. So there's just a lot going on, and that's the thing is there's going to be a lot going on. So I think it's going to be a great main event, and I think it's a perfect main event to come back with. I do.
absolutely, absolutely. Well, last but not least, um, an unfortunate issue happened a couple of weeks ago that was very
Yeah.
controversial to many people, some offensive. They you took a lot of heat for it. That's how Jerry
Yeah.
Swirls and Zach Monstar had a anything goes purge match, and there was some stuff which I would allow you to mention
Yeah.
happened in that match that was unfortunate. So if you can elaborate for the fans, we do know that Jerry is supposed to make an announcement of what occurred. So, what are your thoughts on this situation going into Epidemic, listening to what Jerry has to say?
You know, I was there. I was, behind the cameraman watching everything unfold, and ultimately, I just want to say, accidents happen. There's no getting around that. That accidents happen. Um, I understand a lot of people are upset that it was put out there, that the video was put out there, but it's what Zach would have wanted. Um, you know, eh, both men signed away any and all legal liabilities. They signed away basically their lives because they wanted this match. And in particular, Zach Monstar demanded this match. This wasn't anything I originally felt comfortable with to begin with, because I knew going into this that there could be potentially some type of controversy one way or the other, because there's never been anything like it in the history of professional wrestling. And when you're stepping into new territory, new waters, you got to tread lightly because you don't know what can happen. And with this match, it's an anything goes purge match where it's set up just like a purge. Anything can happen. Obviously, incidents can happen for what original plans are. Um, and it's unfortunate, it is. We lost a great competitor, and
Excuse me.
it's tough. But all we can do is move on from it, because ultimately it's what Zach would have wanted. Um, you know, Jerry Swirls. A lot of people are asking why he's not facing charges. Why is the video allowed to be put out? How dare you post this and do this and that? And it's like, this is what we're doing. Both men knew going into this match what to expect, and both men wanted this, especially Zach. He wanted this more than anyone. He wanted this match out there one way or the other. He wanted the world to see, even if it was his final match and it didn't go the way he wanted it, he wanted the world to see. Jerry Swirls, all I can say is he's got a lot of people who not happy. It's not just wrestling fans, but he's gonna have Zach Monstar's wife to answer to, his family, and like, I've had a lot of time to reflect on everything, and I just I'm curious to see what he has to say. I'm giving the guy out there because at the end of the day, there's not going to be any charges against him for it because it was an accident, or so came across as. We'll see. But I don't know. I'm curious to see what he's going to say. That's all I'm going to say is I'm curious to see what he has to say, because I feel a certain type of way, but I can only imagine how he feels. Um,
Yeah. Well, you two
there's a lot of
do have a
controversy,
lot of history. Yeah, there's a lot of controversy. There's a lot of history between you two. So only one can hope
And
and wait to see what he's gonna say.
and, for the people, the so-called vets, the so-called this and that think they know things, um, they really don't. They really don't, And this is where I'm going to kind of get to the other side of the spectrum, and talk about this for a second if I can.
Hmm.
When I talk about the controversy stuff, they're completely trashed me, trashed Zach, trashed Atomic, trashed Jerry Swirls, and quite honestly, it's like at the end of the day, you still watched and you're still talking about it. Um, Things might not always go the way they're planned, but if something happens, you make the most of it and try to turn a negative into a positive. And you know, I I don't I don't understand how people who call themselves respecting any real veteran in this wrestling business. I'm not. But I'm talking about the ones who call themselves vets, the ones who have literally achieved nothing in their life in the wrestling business, for, they brag that they've been wrestling for 15 years, for 20 years, for 25 years, but they've wrestled in the same gyms for the same people, and they've never actually grown, gotten past that level. They've always stayed there. To me, you can't call yourself a vet. Um, if that's the case, I'm a veteran for pizza because, my first job was working, still delivering for Domino's. So I guess I'm a veteran for pizza, correct? Like I should have my own store at this point, but I don't. And that's ultimately what it is like you can't call yourself a vet if you haven't actually achieved anything worth achieving in the business. And if you're a promoter out there that's so fixated on other promoters and what promotions are doing, maybe you need to stop and take a look in the mirror and say, why do I care what anyone else is doing? Maybe I should put that energy into my own promotion and try to better my shows. And, what he's doing got attention. Whether it's good or bad, it got attention. Our YouTube subscriber count since the video got released has gone up over 200. Our Facebook likes have gone up over 400 or 500, somewhere in that range. We have a sold out show this Friday. uh, like I'm saying, like we're doing fine, and I'm focused on what we're doing in our world right now. I'm not focused on what anyone else is doing. I don't pay attention to anyone else, out there. I really don't. In what they're doing. I stay focused on this and what I'm doing, what our roster is doing. And I feel like ultimately other promoters, promotions, that's what they need to do. Don't worry about what anyone else is doing. Worry about yourself and your show. Because at the end of the day, you know, the more you talk about me, the more people are checking us out. I had some people message me saying that they saw, the trash talk that was going on, and they were curious what people were talking about, and they checked it out. Next thing I know, I had people sending me friends requests and messages saying that's the baddest, coolest shit I've ever seen, man. I ain't seen anything like that since ECW, and hell yeah, it's so great to have that, this and that, and man, I miss wrestling. It hasn't been the same since ECW, since WCW, and all that. And I think that goes to the time that we live in now, where people, find reasons to, get offended at every little else's business. Where it's like, stop trying to find, little reasons to get offended and just focus on yourself and your life and your goals. Worry about you. Don't worry about anyone else. Um, It is kind of ironic, though, that just a couple weeks ago on SmackDown, they had a storyline start with Jeff Hardy and Elias, and the whole uh, Jeff Hardy inebriated and hitting a hit and run with the vehicle on Elias. And I see people praising that, saying, "Oh, it's great," But why is it great if WWE does it, but it's bad if Atomic does it? And it all comes down to that. That's what it is right there. So, anyways, that's all I got to say on the topic. But
Listen,
I am looking forward to seeing what Jerry Swirls has to say in his defense, because he's going to have a lot of angry people. That's all I'm going to say.
of course he is. Absolutely. And I'm sure that he better come prepared to fight, because if there is that many angry people, you
Yeah,
could pretty much got a bullseye on your head right now. So let's see how that's
I, I've
gonna go.
I've already I've already received some threats saying people are going to show up and beat Jerry Swirl's ass. So I don't know. I might have to talk with our general manager. We might have to have some extra security on hand, escorting him to the ring to make sure it doesn't get out of control. Because a lot of angry people. A lot of angry people.
Yep, absolutely.
Controversy
So
creates cash. Isn't that what Eric Bischoff said?
absolutely. Always. That's what it is. Controversy, man. Listen, I'm not gonna be one to be around the bush either. There's a lot of sensitivity people out there in professional wrestling. Cut it out. This is professional
There is.
wrestling. Let's do what you need to do, and that's it. Do what you need to do, worry about yourself, and that's it, just like you pointed. I, I'm I'm not even gonna go further into it because then
Absolutely.
I might get
Absolutely.
I, attacked myself. So, but I just made my point that professional wrestling is wrestling. You guys do a great job. You take the bumps. You do what you need to do to entertain the fans, the promoters, and all that stuff. So, But I
Thank
wish
you.
you luck, man. This is as the fans are watching this upcoming Friday, June 12th, Epidemic, 7 p.m. Doors open at 6:30,
Thank you.
7 p.m. start. You do not want to miss this event. Alex Red, as always, it's always been a pleasure to have you on the show, sir. Kill him this Friday.
Dude,
Have fun,
thank
enjoy
you.
it. Forget about the
Are you
naysayers
kidding
and
me?
just do it up.
Thank you so much for having me on the show. As always, I appreciate it. Honestly, this is my favorite show to be on, period. Hands down, Evolution of Pro Wrestling is the best thing out there. And everyone watching this, you need to go and subscribe to all their stuff on Facebook, on YouTube, and pay attention every week. Between all the reviews, between everything that Lewis does, he does an amazing job. So definitely support him. By the way, I got to mention real quick, this Friday is actually our first ever official taping, TV taping for our brand new show.
Ah,
Um,
yeah, I
yeah,
forgot about that for Extreme Thursdays.
Extreme Takeover Thursdays,
Takeover
which it's
Thursdays.
going
I'm
to
sorry.
world premiere on July 9th on YouTube at 7:05 p.m. Eastern, and it's going to be a very different format.
Awesome, awesome, man.
Extreme
Good
Takeover
luck.
Thursdays, Thursday, July 9th, it'll world premiere. Thank you. I appreciate everything you do, and just thank you so much for having me on, brother.
No, absolutely, absolutely. You have a wonderful night, sir, and good luck on Friday.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You have a good night, man.
You
Peace.
too. There you have it, fans. Mr. Alex Red, the fearless leader and CEO of Atomic Revolutionary Wrestling. Tune in this Friday. He will be at the Space Coast Convention Center in Cocoa, Florida. June 12th, Epidemic, open doors at 6:30, 7 p.m. is start time. It's an event you are not going to want to miss. Thank you, fans, for watching. As always, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. If you have any questions, concerns, or comments, or any topics you would like us to do, email us at evolutionofprowrestling@gmail.com. Don't forget, this Friday night, 8:30, Fantasy Warfare 2 Tag Teams with special guest Jose G from Weekends of Wrestling. From all of us here at Evolution of Pro Wrestling, have a wonderful night, fans.